Hello everybody, it's Linda and I am back to share another project with you. I have created this Halloween mini or large mini for a friend of mine, and it's also my DT project for Wild Orchid Crafts this week. So I have used flowers from Wild Orchid Crafts, and I'll link to the flowers in the description box below. And as you can see, I have used a number of mixed media techniques to achieve this look. I started out using chipboard die cuts designed and given to me by Anna Zanero1 here on YouTube. Hi Anna, without you this album would not have become what it is, and I will just show you how the original shape of the die cut is. So the shape of the die cut is like this house. Some parts you can take out the middle, and some parts are just a hole without this middle part. So that's what I started out with, and as you can see, I have made some extra rooftops and stuff, and a chimney, and this moon is a printout, and I just colored it and stickled or glittered and put some glossy accents on it. And these spiders are just some cheap spiders that I got from what you would call a dollar store. It's called Nilla here in Norway. It's they've got some fun Halloween stuff. And I got this skeleton, and that skeleton I had to order. I finally found some skeletons here in Norway in the toy shops. So just a tip for you Norwegians looking for skeletons in case they don't have it. Nille. Okay, these door handles were sent to me by my friend Anna. Thank you so much, Anna. I just added the bling in the middle. I made a sign, enter if you dare, and this is a Tim Holtz die cut. It's from the Movers and Shapers, same as this, and I just painted and glossy accented them. This whole background texture that you can see here was achieved by putting a texture paste onto just regular black cardstock and then just painting over it as the texture paint was dry. And I also used a little bit of a rub and buff on some parts of it, like this. I used it's called bitumen paste, and it's sort of an iron paste, and that's how you get the this is a typical roof that we have on old houses in Norway, and they're like stone tiles, and I just like the effect that the iron paste gave me. And I just cut chipboard, which was also covered with the same modeling paste paper, and just made these rooftops. And the gate is made the same way. I just cut out chipboard by hand, and I have used some crackle accents, I think it's called. No, crackle paint from Tim Holtz. This is probably some kind of a clear. It's this distress crackle paint candy, clear rock candy. I also use some black crackle here and there, but not on this front cover. So I also have a little door in here, which does not open. It's just for decoration. So I will just show you the closure, which is a toggle, this, and a chain. I attached the chain around the neck of the skeleton. That was an idea that Anna gave me. Thank you, Anna. I was just, wondering what I would do, and then I was just attached the chain to a fence that I made back here on the back side of the album. So let me open. Now it's open. And this is probably one of the most fun albums I have ever created. I have enjoyed every minute of it. And, just tons of fun playing with the spiders, playing with all the die cuts, and layering and, grunging up everything. And this window here was made from a Tim Holtz die. It's both the Movers and Shapers and the original die, and I just used the middle part for the shutters here. And this whole thing is attached with a magnet, and it pulls out so that you can put photos behind here. And this is a Tim Holtz die, and I just used some little lace flowers that I just colored, and just a couple of spiders, another moon printout that I just backed on the other moon that's on the other side. And then, as you can see here, the witch is just looking out her window. I just love that image. I just downloaded it from Google and printed it. And here is the witch's door, and as you can see, there are some little kids here trick-and-treating. These are Tim Holtz kids and these pumpkins are also Tim Holtz. I have just, you know, distressed them and sorry, and colored them using this modeling paste. And yeah, and this is a Tim Holtz die, and so is the trick or treat here. And these flowers are from Wild Orchid Crafts, all of them, and I'll link to them below. And it's cottage rose, and it's 10mm roses here, and some sweetheart blossoms, and the beautiful Tuscany rosebuds. And this door opens with this handle like so, and you can put photos in here as well. So there are some room for photos, and this there is also a Tim Holtz die. So I got to use my dies, and this lace is just from my stash. So that's that page. And then there's this. I had to have a graveyard in her back garden, and I have just used a Tim Holtz die again, layered with a grass die, and to achieve this effect here. And I'm not so sure if you can really see the detail of it, but I hope you can. And this is again another one of those cheap plasticky thingies that I have just painted and put some rub and buff on. And as you can see, here is the back of that Tim Holtz lantern thing, or light, street light, and a spider and some lace down here, and laces around the edges. And this is a Making Memories die, and it's just two corner what's it called, cobweb dies that I just put together and left at the top here. And this is a Joy Crafts die, and this is a Tim Holtz die, and I had just painted around here with some glitter paint. So room for some photos here as well. And then we have the coffin page. I decided to put the coffin on display with making these from corrugated cardboard, and just decorating with some stamens and some flowers from Wild Orchid Crafts. So I'll link to them below. It's the cottage roses and the blossoms, and some 10mm rosebuds. And then I have this, oh, that's come loose. I have to glue it back. And just some ribbon, some flat back pearls, some trim from my stash, a spider up here, and some trim that was given to me by one of my friends. Right now I can't on the top of my head remember who gave it to me, but thank you. And there is some lace at the bottom here, and this opens up, and there is this little skeleton inside. So the coffin can be like totally taken out. There are magnets behind here and behind here, and so it opens like this. It's an accordion fold, so room for pictures or journaling in there. And then it's the witch's kitchen. So as you can see, she took the trick-or-treat kits and she put them in a bird cage, and she also started boiling some of them in her cauldron. So this is a Mariana design die cut that I layered with some lace, and again some of the cottage roses and sweetheart blossoms and 10mm roses from Wild Orchid Crafts, and the same type of roses you can find down here. It's just two different sizes of the cottage roses, and the leaves are also from Wild Orchid Crafts. And I got this skeleton hand here holding these bottles, and these are just some stamps. I did some stamping and layered, and the stamps are from Graphic 45. The bird cage is a Tim Holtz die, and this is also from one of the Tim Holtz dies. It's from the Trick or Treat die, which is like a Sislid, a thin die, and did some stenciling here with some paste, texture paste, and yeah, there's a pocket. The pocket goes all the way behind here, so she can put some pictures in if she wants to use this for pictures too. This page, and then here, these are, the kids are attached on little tags, and they go into the cauldron like this. And I just made some goo, green goo running down here, and these are memory box dies. I have used the same type of flowers throughout the album. It's the cottage roses and the 10mm rosebuds and the sweetheart blossoms, and just some wooden little bottles. I think I got this from Fiona. Hi Fiona. And this is a Prima wooden thing that I just added something to make it look like sand inside. It's the hourglass. Yeah, and then this was such a fun spread to create. I had to give my witch bedroom or a boudoir, and her dress, she keeps it on a skeleton, a mannequin. So I used the die from Tim Holtz, the dress form die, the large one, and I just created a dress, layering laces and bling and everything, and I colored the skeleton, and I attached that afterwards. The witch has got a spider living down here, probably living under her dress. Creepy. Yeah, so that's that. And here's again a spider web here and here from Making Memories. No, oh, memory box, sorry, I always mess that up. And here's a mirror, a golden mirror, and this is the Marianne design die, and this is a Spellbinders die that I used to create this mirror. And some beautiful lace. This is from Mary, not Martha, on Etsy. And leaf trim, and some rosebuds, wild hip rosebuds, and Cosmo daisies, and a trellis rose from Gothic crafts, and just some lace, pieces of lace up here, and a bling. And again, this is the Marianne design die up here. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. And oh yeah, I have to tell you, if you wonder what kind of a background paper I have used, I have created my own. I just used some heavyweight paper and I sprayed it to death, and some places I stamped it, like here it is stamped and heat embossed with black embossing powder. And because I wanted to make this a bit Gothic inspired, and I didn't have papers to match with colors that I wanted to use, so I just started spraying and creating my own background papers. And this is just held close with a magnet, and these doors stay open. And there's another little skeleton. This is a Cottage Cuts die, and it's held close with a magnet. And this is an accordion pocket, so she can put tags in here, and it's held close with this. And the same Marianne design die is under here. So yeah, I made a broomstick here, just using some twine and a twig and some metal string. I can't remember what it's called. And some of the trellis roses from Gothic crafts, Cosmo daisies, and the wild hip rosebuds, and some leaves that I just painted black, and I used some rub and buff on. And there are laces at the bottom and at the top here. So that's the bedroom, and then it is her spell book. I had to make a spell book. So this is just some cardstock, and as you can see, there are some fold outs in here, so there is plenty of room for pictures. And I just kept it plain because I didn't want to make it too fat. You know, putting a lot of pattern papers in here too would just have made this impossible to use, I think. And yeah, the spider web, and this part here is from a Tim Holtz embossing folder, one of his latest ones. And I just put the word spells. This is wood veneer die cuts from Prima. And this is just a piece of cardstock that I ran through my embossing folder and got this pattern on it. And I just put rub and buff and some lace on the binding here and some more of the spider webs from Memory Box. And as you can see, it's a lot of texture here. And this I achieved by gluing down some tissue paper and just roughing it up and just painting it and, you know, inking it and everything. And I thought it turned out pretty cool. And this background paper I also made. It's just, so this opens like this and it folds out like that. So there are room for pictures. And this folds down like so. So you can put a picture here and you can do some journaling there. And this whole thing here folds down and there are room for pictures or journaling. And then this also folds. So there are some magnets here to hold this, like so. And then I'd like to show you the last page of my album. I put a bat up here. It's a rubber bat, and I just rub and buffed it. There are some Tim Holtz die cuts, this one. And like I said, I made the fence. I just put a piece of lace trim here, and you can see it's actually pretty cool to look at from the back side. And I will just take my camera down to show you a little, because you can see the rooftop from the first page just peeks up. So if you keep this album standing up, it will look great from both sides actually. So I really hope that my friend will like the album that I've created for her, and I hope you like it too. And maybe some of you got inspired to, you know, start messing around with some mixed media and create a fun Halloween project. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.